So you're thinking about moving to Ankeny, Iowa, or maybe Johnston. Well, those are two great cities, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at both of those cities to see if I can help you figure out which one might be better for you. So if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in the Des Moines area, then you're going to want to tap subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market conditions in the Des Moines area. My name is Andre. I'm with the Des Moines Iowa real estate team, and we get calls from people like you all the time. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, give me a call. You can call, text, email. You can get on a Zoom call with me, and we can figure out what we can do to help you make a smooth move to the Des Moines area. All right, so the location of Ankeny, you're 20 minutes north of downtown Des Moines in the metro area, right there on the east side of Saylorville Lake. Great location. It's got a nice large city type feel to it. They've got kind of the older part of Ankeny has got plenty of shopping, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the video. Johnston is on a little bit further south, closer to I-80, so maybe a little bit quicker access to downtown Des Moines. And it's also on the west side of Saylorville Lake. So great access to the lake, great access to downtown Des Moines, and also one of the advantages of Johnston is you have great access to the Urbandale, Grimes, Clive, and Waukee area, which is a nice big growing area with lots of shopping. So location advantages, I don't know, it kind of depends on where you work possibly, or what type of amenities that you want to partake in depending on where you go. So I don't know which one I like better. I think I like Johnston better as far as location goes. So one of the big deals that you're going to want to compare is the house prices. House prices are very similar. You're gonna, for an entry-level house, they're gonna have a few more entry-level houses available in Ankeny because there's so many more new construction homes, and also with the planned urban development of like Prairie Trail and that sort of stuff, they'll have more townhomes and more entry-level homes, more smaller homes in Ankeny. So the entry-level home price is right around, it could get down to like 320, but it's like 320 up to like 550 for an entry-level home. As far as Johnston goes, it's a much more established neighborhood and established city type feel to it, and so the home prices are a little larger, and so therefore they're going to be a little bit more expensive and not as many entry-level homes. Now there are some right on the north side of 100th Street and also on the west side of the Johnston area. There's some new construction areas where they're going to offer some of those townhome shared wall type situations where you're going to have some entry-level house prices that get down into even below 300,000. But anyway, on average, the house prices are going to be a little bit more expensive in Johnston, only because they're going to be a little larger homes and not as many new construction entry-level homes right there in Johnston. So one of the things you're going to want to think about is amenities and kind of lifestyle. Ankeny has more of a large city vibe to it because it is a larger city, and there's a lot of shopping in the older part of Ankeny, right there in the middle, kind of on the but the central east side of Ankeny. You've got all the big box stores like Target and Home Depot and Menards and Walmart and TJ Maxx and Staples and things like that. A lot of the big box stores, a lot of big box shopping, and restaurants like Panera Bread and Chili's and things like that. A lot of fast food restaurants right in that area. So a nice big city vibe there. You've also got Prairie Trail, that is a much newer development. That is a planned urban development that it's about 1,000 acres, developed recently, and it seemed like they developed it, well, I'm sure they did. They developed the school right in the middle neighborhoods all around it with the aquatic center right there in the middle, right next to the school. So great urban development right there in Prairie Trail. In addition to that, you got the district, which is one of my favorite places. You got restaurants there. You got Wasabi and Flavory Bistro and 30 Hop and Jethro's and lots of other nice little restaurants. The Breakfast Club, those type places. So nice places to eat. You've got the town center and a fantastic library. Right in that area in the district is where they're going to have the farmers markets and Sips and Songs, which is a weekly free music gathering right there in the district. And also, kind of to go towards lifestyle and amenities, you've got Uptown Ankeny. Uptown Ankeny is right, it's kind of an older, it is a little bit older portion of the town where the High Trestle Trail starts. The High Trestle Trail is a very long paved trail, one of the biggest trails in Iowa. There's over 40,000 visitors every month that come there in the summer and ride the trail. It's a great trail. It starts right there in Ankeny. It goes all the way up to Madrid over a high trestle. It's an old train track. Beautiful trail. That's not the only one. There's plenty of other trails in the area. And Parks and Recreation, Saylorville Lake offers trails and hiking and camping and lake life. You can rent pontoon boats on Saylorville Lake. That's all right there available in Ankeny. In addition to the restaurants that I mentioned in the district, there is the restaurants at Uptown, which is like the Trailside Tap and the Fire Trucker Brewery and a nice coffee shop and Uptown Grill. So, and Mullets. So anyway, and that also is another place right there at the Ankeny Pavilion where they're going to have a farmer's market. Farmers markets are one of my favorite things, and pretty much all these little towns are going to have farmers markets. So that's what's available right there in Ankeny, as opposed to Johnston. Johnston is not going to have a whole lot of shopping. They're not going to have the big box stores. It's more residential and more of a slower pace. You're going to have a lot of established neighborhoods with large trees and great backyards, but not a whole lot of shopping and restaurant amenities. But you're close. You're not far from downtown, and you're not far from the cities on the west side of Des Moines, like Waukee, Urbandale, and Grimes, and those areas is right there next to Johnston. So that's one of the advantages of Johnston, is that you've got a nice, quiet, peaceful residential neighborhood feel to the whole town, but you're not far from some of the hustle and bustle of the newer restaurants and things like that of, Waukee and Urbandale. So anyway, for lifestyle, I'd say if you want a whole lot more to do, then you might want to go to Ankeny. If you want to be close to all your shopping, Ankeny might be the place. If you want a more slower pace, peaceful residential type deal, Johnston is the place. So another one of the things you might want to consider is property taxes. To be honest, the property taxes are very similar. The only difference you're going to have in between Ankeny and Johnston is that the house price might be a little bit more in Johnston, so you're going to pay a little bit more taxes. So anyway, I wanted to mention that because it's something you ought to look at. I don't think if the price of the house is the same, you're going to have about the same property taxes. So anyway, I just wanted to mention it. It's definitely something you want to think about, and I will definitely help you with looking into that for you. Anyway, I think it's very similar. The other thing is, I'm sure you're already thinking about this, but it depends. There's I'd say, I was going to say there's more job opportunities than Ankeny, but there really aren't. There's Casey's right there, the headquarters of Casey's. So there's a lot of job opportunities there. Wells Fargo is I think it's in West Des Moines, but they employ a lot of people. Also, Hy-Vee employs a lot of people. I think they're more in West Des Moines, which is closer to Johnston. But in Johnston, you don't really have any really large employers, so you're going to end up commuting to either downtown or Urbandale, Grimes type area right there, Waukee, all those places. So anyway, of course you're considering this already, but just a reminder, you want to think of where you're working and how far your commute is and how long it might be. Commute on average throughout all of the suburbia here in Des Moines is on average like 20 minutes. So it's not a real bad commute, and traffic's really not that bad. So anyway, but a consideration that you definitely ought to think about. So another one of the big considerations that a lot of people ask me about is, the school system. The school systems in basically the whole Des Moines area are really, really good, especially these suburbs that I'm talking to you about. Ankeny is one of the best, and so is Johnston. Ankeny might, as far as rankings, they might be just a little bit higher. But one of the things about Ankeny is because it's such a fast-growing area, they grew like 13% in the last 4 years. Their population is 72,000 and growing fast, versus population in Johnston of 24 to 25,000, and not growing very fast at all. So that what that does is there's less influx of students into the school system in Johnston, and there's probably a better student to teacher ratio in Johnston, more teachers to student ratio than there is in Ankeny. So that's a small advantage in my opinion. I think you got great schools in both of these places. I don't think that's a really big deal, but if that's one of your major concerns, I would say that Johnston kind of edges Ankeny out. They're so close. They're very close as far as how good these schools are. Anyway, check them out, and I will be able to help you with the school ratings. When you get in touch with me. Speaking of that, if you're thinking about moving here, just give me a call. I'd love to help you make a smooth move to the area. My contact information will be in the description. So, which one would you choose? I'm not sure which one I would choose. It really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for lots of new construction, lots of entry level, and a whole lot of choices, maybe a kind of a big city vibe in a small town, Ankeny might be the place for you. If you're looking for a more quiet, peaceful, residential type area, maybe with more established homes and things like that, Johnston might be for you. There's like I said, there's some new construction in Johnston, but mostly it's a residential, kind of a little bit more well-established area. So it really depends on what you're looking for. The best thing to do, obviously, is to go drive around, pick some houses. Let's go see a couple of houses. Let's see what these neighborhoods look like and how they feel to you. I don't think you can go wrong with picking either one of these. It just depends on how close you want to be to your work or where you're commuting to, and maybe some of the amenities like access to the lake or some of the activities that you may want to do. Like I didn't mention it, but golf courses. Maybe you want to be close to one of the golf courses nearby. There's golf courses on the north side of Ankeny, and there's golf courses on the north side of Johnston. And so I think you can't go wrong with either one of the spots, but it really depends on what exactly you're looking for and the feel and the vibe that you're looking for. And the best way to do that is to go look at some houses. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. Leave me some comments if you possibly live here and want to tell me which one you think is best. I'd love to talk to you about it in the comments. If you don't live here and maybe I missed something that you're thinking about, let me know in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. And of course, if you're looking to move, give me a call. I'd love to help you make a smooth move to this area. And anyway, look forward to meeting you.